What if I told you that having the best player in the world no longer guarantees you a championship? Not because superstars stop mattering, but because the game has fundamentally changed in a way that almost nobody is talking about. Back in 2011, two soccer analysts wrote a book called The Numbers Game. In it, they split teams into two categories: strong link and weak link. Strong link sports, the team with the best player usually wins. Weak link sports, the team without the worst player usually wins. For most of NBA history, basketball was textbook strong link. You had Jordan, you won. You had Shaq and Kobe, you won. You had LeBron, you probably won. I want to argue today that era is over. The NBA has entered the weak link era, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. LeBron James, 2018. Kyrie is gone. Kevin Love is banged up. The supporting cast is, let's be honest, a group of guys you'd find in the bargain bin. And yet, LeBron drags this team to the NBA Finals, almost by himself. Go back to 2007, baby LeBron in Cleveland, surrounded by guys who had no business being in a playoff series, making the finals anyway. That's strong link dominance. One player so transcendent, he can make up for everyone's weakness on his roster. But here's where it gets interesting. Because we've had plenty of star-studded rosters in the last 5 or 6 years that looked unstoppable on paper and completely fell apart. Let's talk about teams that on paper looked great, but didn't amount to much success, if any at all. The 2021 Lakers with LeBron, AD, Westbrook, 3 former MVPs on the same team, finishing 33-49 and missing the playoffs entirely. Why? Because outside of those 3 names, the roster was a mess. No real shooting, defensive liabilities getting hunted every possession, weak links everywhere, and opposing teams found every single one of them. Another example is the Phoenix Suns in 2023 with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and then ultimately Kevin Durant joining. One of the most talented rosters in the league on paper, and they kept getting bounced earlier than anyone expected. The 23 playoff exit against the Nuggets was embarrassing for a team with that much star power. But again, look at the margins. The depth wasn't there. Role players with glaring weaknesses. Teams game plan for that stuff now. And there's nowhere to hide. These weren't flukes. This is the new reality. So what actually shifted? The average NBA player today is significantly more skilled than they were 10 or 15 years ago. Players can shoot, switch defensively, make reads that used to be reserved only for all-stars. Because the floor has risen for everyone, the advantage one superstar can create has been diluted. And defensive sophistication has caught up too. Zone man hybrid schemes, switching everything, loading up on stars with extra attention. Your superstars will still drop 30, but here's the thing, 30-point games don't mean what they used to. We routinely see guys score 30 and lose. 2 players on the same team combining for 60 and still getting blown out. Scoring is up, but individual dominance over an outcome, that's a different story. The margin between winning and losing is no longer found at the top of your roster. It's found at the bottom. Every mismatch gets hunted, every liability gets exposed, and no star, no matter how great, can be everywhere at once. Now let's look at the teams that are thriving under these conditions. The 2025 OKC Thunder finished with the highest point differential in NBA history, but watch them. It's not a one-man show. Every rotation player can defend, everyone spaces the floor, everyone makes the right play. The weakest link is still a functional NBA player. The Indiana Pacers last year are an even better example. Tyrese Halliburton is the star, great player, maybe top 10 in the league, but what makes the Pacers dangerous is their depth. Aaron Nesmith, a role player, hit 6 threes in the fourth quarter alone during one of the greatest playoff comebacks in recent memory. 6 in one quarter as a role player. That doesn't happen in 2005. That's what the modern NBA bench looks like. Compare that to the dynasty Lakers of the early 2000s. Outside of Shaq and Kobe, there were clear weaknesses. Limited shooting, questionable playmaking, and guys who had to hide on defense. They won because the star gap was just too massive to overcome. That gap doesn't exist anymore, or at least not as much as it did in the past. To be clear, superstars still matter enormously. Having the best player on the floor is still an advantage, but it's no longer a guarantee, and it's no longer a substitute for roster construction. Depth isn't a nice to have anymore, it's a requirement. A rotation player who can't shoot, the other teams parks their defender, and doubles your star all night. A defensive liability in the rotation, opposing coaches will find him in the fourth quarter of every playoff game. The teams hoisting trophies from here on out are going to be the ones that understood this first. Not just, we have a superstar, but we have no weak links. The NBA hasn't stopped being a star-driven league, but championships are being decided at the margins now, by weak links getting exposed faster than even the greatest players in the world can save you. We're in the weak link era. The question is, which teams are going to figure that out in time? Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to like, share, subscribe for more NBA deep dives in the future. See you in the next one.